Yes, hello. Thank you very much for joining this channel. Now, more news is coming out of the Dubai Expo. We did a video recently. I hope most of you have watched it, where we had an awful display at one of the biggest international stages. Now, as events continue to unfold, people who are representing Uganda, that is the Uganda Investment Authority, the Ministry of Finance, and the entire entourage that went at the expo, they are now becoming desperate. And through their desperacy, they are actually making a lot of mistakes and they are getting caught out. Now, in the most recent of things that they have done that has become questionable by Ugandans, both on social media as well as the public, is the fact that Uganda, out of 192 countries, is the first country to receive investment deals that are worth 650 million US dollars. Now, for me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, what a good job. The chairman, Uganda Investment Authority, Morrison Rakakamba, a Harvard graduate. Congratulations, you guy, you are very good. You have done a good job. At last, we have someone, you know, who can walk the talk. So I thought. Anyway, putting that aside, there has been reports that are showing that Uganda is the only country so far that has, got these deals. And from the look of things, different companies that include Connect LLC, Modern Group, and other companies known as Guangzhou Biotech, as well as Moda Investments, and then there's another Turkish company that have already signed investment deals. Then I was like, okay, no problem. But let us look into the detail. Because the devil is always in the detail. Now, for them, they will put headlines all over the entire media showing that, oh, Uganda has signed investment deals that are worth 650 million US dollars. Now, that's the reason as to why we have such kind of a show called The Breakdown. Because the media's role is to, number one, verify these claims by maybe calling these companies, by maybe doing due diligence and making sure that what people like Rakakamba are saying and the Minister of Finance, Kasaija, and the entire, all those guys corresponds. Because what we have seen so far is that there is a lot of uh, the entire team that is working on this particular event on behalf of Uganda. Everything they are doing is all shrouded in mystery. But anyway, because you have the breakdown, let us break things down word for word and the meaning of these particular issues. Before I even tackle the companies, so many red flags stood out. Whereas you can say that, okay, we signed investment deals. But the signing of an investment deal, it doesn't mean that a person is going to invest in your country. There is no guarantee that they can invest. And the document is literally not binding. Legally, it is not binding. Whereby if this document does not invest in your country, you cannot go and sue him anywhere or whatever. So is that a cause to jubilate? Well, not really. Because even using the word investment is just a PR word that they are trying to use to lift people's energies and say, oh, investment is coming. And then to get other people who have turned away from Uganda to say, oh, we missed out, putting money into Uganda. But here is the issue. There is something called the letter of intent. If you go and read these documents, what was actually signed were not investment deals, but these were letters of intent. Now, a letter of intent is a document that it is more like a document that is promising a commitment to do business with another individual. It's that document that you sign and it says that, okay, I promise I will do business with you. That is a letter of intent. Like intending to do business with you, but I might as well not do business. So these individuals, because Museveni is on an international PR campaign, they have been putting this document out there, telling people that these are investment deals. And yet in these particular deals, there is no conclusion anywhere in these particular documents that show that actually these people have signed and sealed these particular deals. What they have done is a letter of intent. And these letters of intent do not specify the time when these investments will start or when they will begin. You get it? So when he signed a letter of intent with Modern Group or Connect LLC, LLC can say, okay, I will start next year. And next year comes and then I say, oh, I will start the other year. And, they keep shifting until they just run away. That is what is likely to happen. Now, are there countries that have signed letters of intent as well in the expo? Of course, yes. Why? How come that these countries have not showed their letters of intent to other countries? Because it is an embarrassment. Letters of intent are not legally binding, and they are not guarantors, or they are not guaranteeing that investments are going to take place in your country. Even if actually, when you put that aside, it brings me to the next point, which is very important. The companies that had actually signed these letters of intent to invest in Uganda. The company that actually caught my attention is a company known as Moda Investments. Now, Moda Investments deals in finance and all that kind of stuff. But when people looked it up on Twitter as well as social media, the company is no longer operational. It's no longer working. Like, it ceased to work like a year ago. And it only has one director. And that company, guess how much is going to invest in Uganda? 50 million US dollars. Now, if at all you have a chairman of the Uganda Investment Authority, a Harvard-trained individual known as Morrison Rakakamba, who cannot do his due diligence as well as his background check, and you get such an authority, hand it over to him. This is pure incompetence. How can you get a company known as Moda Group and sell it to Ugandans that this is one of the company that is going to invest in Uganda, yet the company is even non-existent? It has no provenance. It has no track record of having invested anywhere else. And then it came to the figures of these particular companies that are going to invest. Now, I don't know to what probability you guys would put out there for such a thing to happen. They have said 650 million US dollars, all right? But the biggest investment is coming from a company known as Connect LLC. It is going to invest 500 million US dollars. Then other companies like Guangzhou Biotech, 50 million. Modern Investments, 50 million. Modern Group, 50 million. The Turkish company, 50 million. 50 million is the magic number? What is the probability that all these companies have the same sort of value in terms of share capital and all this kind of stuff? Like, do they have the same capital or value? Do they deal in the same thing? Why are they investing all the same figure, 50 million? Come on. We all know what the government is up to. We all know what Museveni is up to. This is a pure PR stunt. Recently, I will give them a benefit of doubt if at all these investments actually materialize in days to come. But the fact that there is no date, the fact that there is no duration or time for these investments to materialize, then I can as well categorically sit here and tell Ugandans that, look here guys, have no hopes. There is no investments that are coming. There is no 650 million in terms of investments that are coming to Uganda. It's not happening. Forget it. What we are seeing here is a deliberate PR campaign, because the government has made the country it has made it the divestment capital of the world. Sorry, of Africa. No one wants to put money in Uganda because the conditions are not conducive. All multinational companies have left. ShopRite, Game, what do you call this other telecom company? Africell, Etihad Airways, British Airways. All these companies are leaving. And which serious investor would like to put money where these companies are leaving? It is the companies that are actually already bust, that are non-existent, the likes of the Moda Group, under the supervision of a Harvard-trained graduate, Morrison Rakakamba. Now, the other fascinating issue is this, that Uganda has a track record of dealing with shoddy companies. In just a few months ago, they gave a contract to a Russian company to supply digitalized number plates. But the Russian company had civil suits in it already had court cases, it had been sued, and it had even filed for bankruptcy. These are the companies that Museveni is dealing with, which is really interesting. So when I see you have companies like Moda Investments, it doesn't come as a surprise. So What is happening here is literally a PR stunt for these people to create an image that, look here, guys, we are good, we are doing well, blah, 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 blah. Please come and invest. They are really dying hard for investment. For me, the solution will always remain one for any country. And I will just give you this information. For as long as you are looking at these particular people, because the reason as to why they don't want Ugandans to invest in their country is that Ugandans will become powerful, and in the end, they are afraid of rich Ugandans. They would rather have Europeans as well as foreigners to become rich than fellow Ugandans becoming rich. Because we had Ugandans who are entrepreneurs, who had invested in the country, but they had all been disgruntled. They had all all machinations were put in place and things were done to make sure that they fail. The likes of Al-Hajj Badr Chigundu, he had one of the best private banks employing a lot of people, gone. Sembule Enterprises, steel mills, and all these kind of people. All these Ugandan entrepreneurs, they lost their businesses because of politics. But these people are happy to have the so-called Indians and all these other people and going to expos spending 3 billion. We have entrepreneurs in Uganda. We have the next Bill Gates. We have the next Steve Jobs in Uganda, as well as this applies to the entire African continent. We have these people in our countries that can uplift these nations. But because of the investment climate that does not favor the black people, but favors foreigners, that is what you get. Anyway, I'm here to tell you there's no 650 million in terms of investments that is coming. Just so you know. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Leave your comments below and let us meet in the next video. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.